Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're a developer, you've probably dreamed of building apps for desktop, for Android, and for iOS without having to juggle, three completely different code bases. Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the B4X Integrated Development Environment, a tool that's really designed to make true cross-platform development a reality.
It's the big question in software development, isn't it? I mean, trying to maintain separate projects for every single operating system, it can be a massive drain on your time, your money, your sanity. So how do you get around that?
And here's the answer. The whole promise of the B4X suite is this. You write your code one time, and then you can deploy it across all these different platforms. B4J for desktop, B4A for Android, and B4i for iOS. It's an incredibly efficient way to work, and the IDE is the command center that makes it all happen. I want you to think of the B4X IDE as your development cockpit. It's got all the controls, all the gauges, and all the windows you need to pilot your project from just an idea all the way to a finished app. So, buckle up. We're about to take our first flight.
Okay, every great journey starts with that first step. And for us, that means creating our very first project. You're about to see just how ridiculously fast you can get off the ground.
Seriously, it is this simple. Just 4 steps to get going. You open the IDE, and boom, you've got a blank canvas just waiting for your next big idea.
Your very first move is right here. A simple click on File, then New. And notice, there are no complicated setup wizards, no confusing pages. It's just a straight shot to getting started.
Next, you'll get this list of project types. Now here's the key, and you're going to want to remember this. For true cross-platform development, you're looking for B4X pages. That's the template that sets you up to share your code and your UI across every platform, right from the get-go.
So with our project created, we now enter what I like to call the engine room. This is the main code editor. It's the heart of the IDE, and it's where you'll spend most of your time, really crafting the logic that's going to power your application. And the first thing you'll notice is how clean and uncluttered this space is. Everything is designed to keep you focused on what matters, your code. You've got line numbers, syntax highlighting, all the standard tools you'd expect.
That's a great question, right? Because as your projects get bigger, you often need to look at one piece of code while you're writing another. A single view can start to feel pretty limiting. So how does B4X solve that?
Well, check this out. B4X lets you split your code editor into 2 or even 4 completely independent panes. This is an absolute game changer for productivity. You could have your UI code in one pane and the part that handles the data in another. It just makes it so much easier to see what's going on without constantly flipping between files.
Okay, so beyond just writing code, you need a way to manage all the different parts of your project. And that's where the Mission Control panel comes in. It's this set of tabs on the right side of the IDE that keeps everything neat and organized. And this panel is built around 6. That's right, 6 dedicated tabs, and each one is designed to handle a specific part of managing your project.
So here are your main tools. You've got modules to see your project structure, a files manager for all your assets, a libraries manager to add new features, logs for debugging, and then 2 really powerful search tools to find anything you need anywhere in your project.
Let's take a quick look at the Modules tab. Think of this as your project navigator. It gives you this clean, tree-like view of all your code modules, and you can even expand them to see all the different subroutines inside. It's perfect for jumping to the exact line of code you need to work on in a split second.
Now, the Libraries Manager is way more than just a tool for adding new stuff. Yeah, you can easily pull in powerful libraries, but what's so incredibly helpful is that developers can add comments that show up right here in the manager. It's like having little bits of documentation built right into the IDE. So useful!
We've covered the code and the project organization, but what about the user interface? The part people actually see and touch. For that, we turn to one of B4X's most powerful features, the Integrated Visual Designer.
The documentation puts it simply and perfectly. It says, the designer manages the different objects of the interface. And that's exactly what it does. Your buttons, your labels, your text fields, everything the user is going to interact with is built and arranged right here. And this is what it actually looks like. You're not just typing coordinates into your code and hoping for the best. No, you are visually building your UI. You can literally drag a button onto the screen, resize a text field, and see the result exactly as your user will. This visual-first approach is so intuitive, and it speeds up development time like you wouldn't believe.
Okay, so let's put it all together now. We've seen the individual pieces. We've got the powerful code editor, the awesome organizational tabs, and that super intuitive visual designer. Now let's see how they all combine to take you from just lines of code to a real creation.
This image right here really sums it all up. On the left, you've got the code from the engine room. That's the logic, the brains of the operation. And on the right, you've got the interface from the visual designer, the face of your application. The B4X IDE provides this seamless environment where these two halves just come together perfectly to create one single, functional, cross-platform app.
And there you have it. We've completed our tour of the cockpit. You've seen the controls, you understand the systems, and the runway is clear. So really, the only question left is, with a tool this powerful and this streamlined, what amazing application are you going to build first?